Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Wanted to do a quick video talking about a movie I just saw last night on New Year's on Netflix called Black Mirror Bandersnatch. So, if you haven't seen it before, Black Mirror is a good show that I think my wife and I either watched all of or most of, I can't remember, and it's pretty much like these crazy futuristic cyberpunk scenarios, usually very dark, usually some kind of thrillers type stuff going on where you don't know what's going to happen and there's lots of twists and turns. They're really good, and from what I remember, they're one-offs. So each episode is like directed by someone different, and they're all like different stories. So they don't make one big story. They're just one shots, which I enjoy. So that being said, I had been seeing a lot on Facebook about um, Black Mirror Bandersnatch, and I wasn't quite sure if it was just a new show or what it was, a new season, but I decided to check it out. It's actually a choose your own adventure movie. What that means is if you ever went back as a child and read the choose your own adventure novels where you get to a category like, you're in a cave fighting a creature and you have to choose whether to run away, pull out your sword, or call for help. And then it says go to page 20 and you flip to page 20, whatever choice you pick, let's say pull your sword out, it'll say you pull your sword out and you know, you fend off the creature and live, or had you ran away, it would have chased you down and killed you or whatever. It's that type of thing. So as a kid, I would read the Choose Your Own Adventure novels a ton, and I always really enjoyed them. I would get them from the library as a kid, and that's what this is. So it's really cool. It's really interesting. The story starts to kind of overlap on itself in ways, and by the end of it, you can pretty much choose every one. It like kind of throws you back every time at the end. There's about like five endings, I believe, and then eventually you will get the real ending. If you choose every single one correctly, there is just one real ending, supposedly, which I've now since seen and was interesting. But you know, initially I was off, and I had to go back and redo like key points of the movie. The only thing I would say about the movie that I didn't like is that if you want to just watch something and not focus on using your remote to pick different options, it's always a 50-50. But if you're not sitting there looking to really interact and you want to just daze out and watch something, this will not be for you. So to just briefly summarize the movie, there's this young man who develops is developing a video game called Bandersnatch, and he brings it to a video game company. And this is back in the 80s, so it's like the Commodore and the Spectrum and stuff. And he brings it there, and they want to hire him to finish his game and produce it and market it for him. And that's what starts happening. But he starts um, having an issue, kind of hitting a wall creatively to finish his game, and programming wise, he's having an issue completing his game and he needs help. But all this crazy stuff starts happening, and you start controlling what choices he's going to make, and every choice you make changes the outcome of the ending. There's a bunch of choices, and there's different branching paths, and the game also concurrently is about branching paths and choices. So while you're doing it, he's doing stuff in his game, and there's crazy choices like killing people, you know, jumping off the ledge of a building, and then there's more mundane choices like smacking your hand on a table or throwing your coffee cup across the room, but each of them do have different outcomes. And if you go back after you finish it and play it again, it puts you at like a big choice in the I almost said game because it pretty much is a game in a sense. It puts you at a big choice in the movie, and then you can change your choice and continue on a different path. And as I said, by the end of it, I had gotten, I think, three or four of them, and then went back and read how to get the actual ending and got the actual ending. So it's a great movie and it's interesting. It does feel kind of bogged down somewhat because after a while I'm like, all right, I'm sick of making these choices. I want to just watch the movie. But as long as you're open to it and you know what you're getting into, I think you'll really enjoy it. And I don't know why something like this wasn't done sooner for movies. That being said, it's pretty much a Sega CD game. So if you've played Sega CD games over the years, or even some of the early 3DO and Sega Saturn games, you'll know what this is. It's a choose your own adventure FMV game. It's Wirehead and Kamen Rider and trying to think what other all these other Time Gal and Space Ace and Dragon's Lair. That's what this is, except it's a great looking HD movie on Netflix. But they pretty much took the idea and did a quick time event type of game like Shenmue, but put it as a movie and now you control it. So it's interesting. The concept's interesting. It it has fourth wall breaking material in it. So I think it's a really great idea. I hope they do more of them in the future. But as I said, if you're not in the mood to be bogged down with controls and paying attention to picking things at certain times, then you may not like it. It also has a great cyberpunk type feeling to it and futuristic feeling to it. So if you like those types of films, you'll probably like this. And oh, I was going to say one more thing that I didn't want to lose off the top of my head. Damn it. Futuristic, cyberpunk, Sega CD. Ah, crap. It'll come back to me. Um, most of the actors are actors I haven't seen before, but I thought they did really well. That's what I was going to say. In the actual ending, if you wait past the credits, there's actually a noise that I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a cassette tape that goes into a player in the movie, and you'll hear a noise that sounds like a modem noise. Some guy online realized that it wasn't a modem noise. It was a Spectrum, ZX Spectrum cassette tape game noise. So he recorded it, transferred it over to his computer in a WAV file, and then made a cassette tape out of it and put it in his Spectrum, and it's one of the video games in the movie. That's that's like so cool that someone figured out. It was like I think it actually turned into a QR code, and then they were able to do something. And there's a explanation online, but it was so cool that they actually added that secondary layer of like an Easter egg. So I'm sure there's other things in the movie that I don't notice, that you'll notice or you'll be able to pick up on that may even lead to more Easter eggs. But as I said, if you like full motion video, choose your own adventure, Sega CD games, stuff like that, check this out because it's a Sega CD lover's perfect, homage. And now that movies obviously are HD and 4K and whatever else, they look great. Where back when we played them on the Sega CD, they were in their infancy and they were lacking colors and they were very dithered. That's not the case anymore. So it looks great. So check that out. I think it's a great futuristic cyberpunk and video game lovers type of movie, and you just have to be in the mood to make the selections. Let me know if you guys have seen Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, and what you thought of the movie, and I keep going to say game because it's pretty much a game meshed with a movie, and what you thought of the endings. Thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.